A lot of sellers are dreaming to network with other entrepreneurs which are running 7, 8, or even 9-figure Amazon businesses and learn some tricks and tips from them directly. And actually, if you're in New York, you have a perfect chance to do that, to network with high-earning sellers in the upcoming AMZ Innovate event. It's happening in November 2022. And in this video, I'm talking to one of the organizers of this conference, Brandon Fuhrmann, who will give us an overview and insights what kind of event you could expect if you come and what kind of speakers and content they're preparing. Hello, Brandon. It's nice to have you here. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us what you do in Amazon space?
So my name is Brandon Fuhrmann. I've been a seller on Amazon since 2014 or so. So it's been a long time, I guess about 8 years. And my job is I'm primarily a seller, but I also run a conference for Amazon sellers in New York City called AMZ Innovate. And also a meetup in New York City as well. That's free for anyone who's in the area.
Yeah, exactly. So we will talk about your event, AMZ Innovate, which is happening probably yearly. And you yourself a seller, and what happened that you decided to create an event for sellers? Because it's a big job to organize an event.
It sure is. So the meetup was started by my partner in the event, Jared Orkin, and this was just a free meetup that he started in New York City. This was years ago when nobody was really selling on Amazon, and it started out and there was about 4 of us like sitting at a table just trying to understand what other people were doing, what was going on about it on Amazon. And this meetup just grew from 4 to 8 to 10 to 30 to 60 till it reached a point where it was like, hey, maybe we should try to put on a conference. And at that point, I lived in New York City at the time, so I was able to join Jared and kind of helping run it. And we were like, had no experience doing anything, no idea what the work was, and we're like, okay, sure. And then we were, right into it, and we had no idea how crazy it was going to be to put on an event like that. But it really went just incredibly well. Yeah, we just kind of jumped into it with no experience, and now we work a lot. It's a lot easier to run, having done it 3 previous years. This will be our 4th year, but yeah, it's really just to build the community in New York, to really give a great place for sellers to meet up, to network, to get like really the greatest speakers that we can get to come speak at our event. Most of the speakers are sellers themselves and not people who speak at a lot of other events. So we really pride ourselves in putting on a really unique, amazing conference.
So this is basically how you would describe your event. It's from sellers to sellers, or how would you describe it?
Yeah, that pretty much. Yeah, all 3 of us who run the event now are sellers. Our primary job is sellers. This is like a hobby almost. Very one that takes up a lot of time, but it's a hobby nonetheless. So yeah, we're all sellers, and for us, we want content that we're going to find personally interesting, that we're going to think is going to really resonate with other sellers. A lot of events are put on by conference providers, are just people who don't really sell, so I don't think they really understand what information is going to really resonate with sellers.
Yeah, so if you are listening now about this event, you can visit the event website. You will find the link below in the description. It's amzinnovate.co. And you will also find a 25% discount code if you want to purchase the tickets. Below in the description, you will find the code. And it's happening in New York. How many sellers do you expect in this event?
We're expecting up to about 500 or so. It could be more. It's always hard to tell until the day of the event, really. But yeah, it should be a pretty big event.
And what's the history? How many people did you get on the first event, second, third?
So the first one, we had about 120 or so. The second one, 250. And then last year we had about 350.
Oh, great increase.
So it's been growing, and yeah, it seems like everyone was really happy with the way the show went last year, and all the reviews were really great, because we look at all the feedback that we get and try to really make it better every year. So yeah, this year it seems like we're going to be having more.
And you said that you select speakers carefully, and they are not speaking in any other events, or
not like any other events, but mostly not speaking at a ton of other events.
And ourselves, we run AMZ Summit's website where we kind of collect information about many events. And I would say like none of these people besides Jared and you, other names are not familiar to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they don't speak at. I don't think any of them have spoken at other events. I think
yeah.
maybe Dimitri's speaking at one or two,
Mhm.
but Jared, who run and Dimitri, who run the conference with me. Yeah, we try to pick people who are not going to be those sellers who people who are going to speak at a lot of different events.
And I see eight-figure seller, eight-figure seller, eight-figure seller, nine-figure seller. How do you find these people? Are you bringing them from your own masterminds?
Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty much networking and trying to get people that we think have a lot of interesting things to share with our audience. It's not necessarily people who contact us. Most of the time, it's us contacting them and asking, trying to get a favor to get them to speak or to share something that we think is interesting.
Oh yeah, what's interesting about you that you have, as a seller, you have relationship with the big sellers, and they are convinced, or you are convincing them to come to speak, which is a big job.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah. So, what content people can expect?
My personal belief is that every big seller has at least one or two really good presentations in them about something that they're really just great at. Right. So, I think we're going to get more of that. I think, some of our speakers have are just really amazing at what they do. David Guillaume, who's a 9-figure seller at this point, just has amazing customer service. Like I follow his brand religiously, and it's just amazing what they do. And really just everybody else, I know Brian is really great at, Brian Kelsey, who's speaking, is really great at Instagram and working with influencers, and really just everyone has just such unique talents and really just interesting talents that it's going to really be great. And then there's speakers that we haven't even announced yet that we're still working on that hopefully will come speak. So, this isn't it for everyone that's going to be there.
This event is happening for one day.
Yeah, so it's a one-day event on November 7th, and then there's a happy hour the night before, which gives people opportunity to network before the event. And then there's a VIP dinner that night, the night of the event as well. And I think a lot of people always end up going out after. So, it seems like it's short, but it's really a very full day and full experience. Right. And it's our goal to really not have any fluff, to not have a lot of I've been to a lot of conferences where you're there and maybe there's 2 or 3 good speakers and the rest are just okay. Our goal is to really just make it nonstop action, nonstop content really for the entire time that you're there, and make it really worth your while to come out to it.
Actually, I was thinking, at other events, you get speakers which are service providers and speaking in all other events. So basically, you can meet them during VIP dinner, but also you can meet them during other events if you want.
Right.
But with your event, these speakers, I don't know if you can meet unless you pay some maybe high ticket masterminds or I don't know, you get introduced personally. And will you have some vendors or sponsors in this event that attendees can interact?
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of sponsors there as well. Some really great companies coming to sponsor, and they'll have booths and they'll be at all the events pretty much. So yeah, it's really just like a big Amazon party. That's what I would call it in New York City.
And in kind of one sentence, how you would describe this event? Let's say if you have to take a microphone and pitch it in front of, 300 virtual attendees.
So the way I would describe it is that, this is one of the few conferences that really aims towards high-level sellers, and not just in terms of who's speaking, but in terms of the content itself. We're not really aimed at newbies, although I guess I would say that the event itself, if you're a newbie, I think they get the most out of it because they really see what it takes to run an Amazon business and not to be scared about coming. But just that this is real business stuff and real actionable content that will help grow your business. Yeah, that's how I'd pitch it.
Yeah, cool. Nice. Sounds good. Thank you very much, Brandon. And those who want to get access to this event, check for the ticket link, for the website link of this event below in the description. You can find also a coupon code which gives you 25% off your ticket. And event is on November 7th in New York. Some of you will see Brandon in the event. Bye-bye. Good luck.
Bye. Thank you.
If you think that AMZ Innovate conference would be a good fit for your Amazon business, check the link below in the description and grab your ticket with a 25% discount code, which you will find below in the description as well. And this event is happening in November, 7th of November 2022. And now I would like to invite you to watch more videos about events which are happening in the Amazon space for Amazon sellers.